Welcome to my series called Know Your Aircraft. In this episode, we will share a brief history on the 3 turboprops in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Please enjoy this scenery while learning about these wonderful aircraft. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Next episode is all about jets. Thanks again for being a part of this great experience.
Cessna 208 Caravan is a utility aircraft produced by Cessna. The project was commenced on November 20, 1981, and the prototype first flew on December 9, 1982. The production model was certified by the FAA in October 1984, and its Cargo Master freighter variant was developed for FedEx. The 4 feet (1.2 meters) longer 208B Super Cargo Master first flew in 1986 and was developed into the passenger 208B Grand Caravan. The strutted high-wing 208 typically seats 9 passengers in its unpressurized cabin, is powered by a single Pratt & Whitney Canada PT68 tractor turboprop, and has a fixed tricycle landing gear, floats or skis. By November 2017, 2,600 have been delivered and 20 million flight hours logged. Caravans are used for flight training, commuter airlines, VIP transport, air cargo and humanitarian missions. A FedEx Super Cargo Master with cargo pod. The Cargo Master and Super Cargo Master variants are built without cabin windows. Cockpit of a pre-2008 Caravan on November 20, 1981, the project was given a go-ahead by Cessna for its Pawnee engineering facility. John Berwick, chief engineer at Pawnee, came with the concept of a single-engine, high-wing airplane with a large payload. Berwick had originally approached VP Bill Booker, who, with the idea and once Dwayne Wallace approved it, Berwick told Russ Meyer he would design it. The prototype first flew on December 9, 1982. The production model was certified by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, in October 1984. A freighter variant without cabin windows was developed at the request of Federal Express as the Cargo Master. Another cargo variant for Federal Express, with a longer fuselage and a cargo pod under the belly, was developed as the 208B Super Cargo Master and flew for the first time in 1986. FedEx was initially planning to build twin-engine piston-powered airplanes with Piper Aircraft, but picked a Caravan after surveying it and having flown the prototype, becoming its standard carrier. A passenger model, the 208B Grand Caravan, was derived from the Super Cargo Master. Since then, the Caravan has undergone a number of design evolutions, including upgrading the avionics in 2008 to provide a glass cockpit with the Garmin G1000 system. In January 2013, a higher-powered 867 shp from P&W CPT-6A140 version, the Grand Caravan X, received FAA certification. In August 2016, Textron announced that it would move the Cessna 208 production line from its Wichita headquarters to its Independence, Kansas production facility for manufacture along the piston-powered 172 Skyhawk, 182T Skylane, T206H Turbo Stationaire and Cessna TTX, and the Citation M2 Lightjet. The move was made to make room for production of the Citation Longitude and Denali in Wichita. In May 2012, Cessna announced that an assembly line for the 208 would be established in China, with the government-owned China Aviation Industry General Aircraft (CAIGA) conducting final assembly of Caravans at its plant in Shijiazhuang for the Chinese market. Chinese government approval was granted in September the following year, and the first Chinese assembled Caravan was delivered in December 2013. By April 2016, about 30 aircraft, assembled from kits of parts shipped from the US by Cessna, had been delivered to Chinese operators by the joint venture. The Cessna 200A is a high-wing braced cabin monoplane, powered by a single Pratt & Whitney Canada PT68 turboprop in tractor configuration. The cabin has room for 9 passengers and 2 crew, when used as a passenger aircraft with 4 doors. One for each crew member, an air stair door on the right side of the cabin and a cargo door on the left. The aircraft can be optionally fitted with an underslung cargo pod. The basic 208 airframe has a fixed tricycle landing gear, but can also be fitted with various types of landing gear, allowing it to operate in a wide variety of environments. Some common adaptations include floats with retractable landing gear on the Caravan amphibian model and skis. 208B Grand Caravan in the Netherlands, modified with roller door for parachuting operations, skydivers sitting on the cabin floor or visible inside the rear roller door. The Caravan interior can be outfitted with seats or as a cargo compartment. The standard high-density airline configuration has 4 rows of 1 to 2 seating behind the 2 seats in the cockpit. This variant is capable of holding up to 13 passengers, although it is marketed as being able to make a profit carrying just 4. The cabin can be configured in a low-density passenger configuration, with 1-1 seating, as a combination of passengers and cargo, or as a strictly cargo aircraft. Many variants include an underbelly cargo pod, which can be used for additional freight capacity, or for passenger baggage. A number of Caravans are operated as skydiving aircraft with the left side cargo hatch converted to a roll-up door. The airplane typically seats 9 passengers with a single pilot, although with a FAR Part 23 waiver, it can seat up to 14 passengers. The aircraft is also used for cargo operations. 208B Grand Caravan X marketing name for upgraded version of the 208B Caravan certified in December 2012 with a more powerful 867 horsepower, 647 kilowatts Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6A140 that improves the rate of climb by 38% and was developed by Pratt & Whitney Canada specifically to power the 208B. The unladen weight is 807 pounds, 366 kilograms more, but maximum payload is only 90 pounds, 41 kilograms more. While the 192 horsepower, 143 kilowatts, more powerful PT6A140 gives 11 knot, 20 kilometers per hour. Higher cruise speed and rate of climb is improved by 94 feet per minute, 0.48 meters per second. Range is reduced to 964 nautical miles, 1,785 kilometers, on a similar fuel capacity. It requires a longer takeoff run at 2,160 feet, 660 meters, and its landing roll is at 1,871 feet, 570 meters. In early October 2019, after just under 6 years in production, the company had delivered 500 Grand Caravan X's. Certified in 100 countries, 2,600 caravans have been delivered with nearly 20 million flight hours logged by November 2017. Engineered for high payloads and short and rough runways, with single-engine economy and simplicity, caravans are used for flight training to recreation, commuter airlines to VIP transport, cargo carriers and humanitarian missions. It is also used by government agencies in law enforcement, air ambulance services, police and military. The Cessna 208 is used by governmental organizations and by a large number of companies for police, air ambulance, passenger transport, air charter, freight and parachuting operations. FedEx operates 239 aircraft. A total of 134 Cessna 208s were in military service in 2016.
The Cicada TBM, now S.I.R TBM, is a family of high-performance single-engine turboprop business and utility light aircraft manufactured by S.I.R. It was originally collaboratively developed between the American Mooney Airplane Company and French light aircraft manufacturer Cicada. The design of the TBM family originates from the Mooney 301, a comparatively low-powered and smaller prototype Mooney developed in the early 1980s. Following Mooney's acquisition by French owners, Mooney and Cicada held a series of in-depth discussions on the potential for co-developing a new and large turboprop design, derived from the earlier 301. These resulted in the formation of a joint venture for the purpose of developing and manufacturing the envisioned aircraft, which was designated as the TBM 700. From the onset, emphasis was placed upon the design speed, altitude, and reliability. Upon its entry onto the market in 1990, it held the distinction of being the first high-performance single-engine passenger cargo aircraft to enter production. Shortly after launch, the TBM 700 was a market success, which quickly led to the production of multiple variants and improved models, often incorporating more powerful engines and new avionics, amongst other features. The TBM 850 is the production name assigned to the TBM 700N, an improved version of the aircraft powered by a single Pratt & Whitney PT6A66D. In March 2014, an aerodynamically refined version of the TBM 700N, marketed as the TBM 900, was made available. In the early 1980s, the Mooney Airplane Company of Kerrville, Texas, designed a 6-seat pressurized light aircraft powered by a single 360 horsepower, 268 kilowatts piston engine, which they designated the Mooney 301. On 7 April 1983, the prototype 301 conducted its maiden flight. During 1985, the Mooney Aircraft Company was acquired by new French owners, who promptly took an interest in the further development of the fledgling 301. 441 coinciding with the company's acquisition, French light aircraft manufacturer Cicada, who had identified a vacant market position for a purpose-built optimized single-engine aircraft capable of fast personal transport and light cargo duties, identified the piston-powered 301 as a potential starting point to satisfy this niche. Accordingly, talks soon commenced between Mooney and Cicada on the subject of producing a turboprop-powered derivative of the 301. The product that emerged from these discussions was a new design, referred to as the TBM 700, which was considerably heavier than the original 301, while provisioned with more than twice the available power. The prefix of the designation, TBM, originated from the initials TB, which stands for Tarbes, the French city in which Cicada is located, while the M stands for Mooney. At the time of its conception, while several aviation companies had studied or were otherwise considering the development of such an aircraft, the envisioned TBM 700 was the first high-performance single-engine passenger cargo aircraft to enter production. From the onset, a TBM 700 consequently, during June 1987, a joint venture, named TBM International, was established with the aim of completing development of the TBM 700 design, and to perform the manufacture of the new aircraft. The ownership of the joint venture was divided between Mooney and Cicada's parent company Aerospatiale. 135 A pair of separate production lines for the TBM 700 were planned, one located at Mooney's facility in Kerrville, Texas, which was intended to cater to the American market, and the other based at Cicada's factory in Tarbes, which was set to produce aircraft for customers throughout the rest of the world. However, during the late 1980s and early 1990s, Mooney was afflicted by persistent fiscal shortfalls. Consequently, in May 1991, Mooney chose to withdraw from participation in the joint venture, leaving Cicada as the primary company involved in the program. On 14 July 1988, the first TBM 700 prototype conducted the type's maiden flight. Flight testing proved that virtually all of the established goals of the design had been achieved, leading to quick progress towards production. On 31 January 1990, type certification was received from French authorities. It was followed by the awarding of U.S. Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) certification on 28 August 1990. During early 1990, the first delivery of a TBM 700 occurred. The first production batch of 50 aircraft were sold out almost instantly. Early feedback received from operators and pilots was typically positive about the capabilities of the new aircraft, often praising its speed and generous power margins amongst other attributes. According to aerospace publication Flying, while the TBM 700 had rapidly proved popular on the market and a good aircraft on its own merits, the services and support facilities Cicada provided for the aircraft were an initial point of weakness. Early on, customers were often faced with lengthy delays in acquiring spare parts and other services. Negative feedback on the after-sales support for the TBM 700 has been attributed as the cause of a downturn in sales during the 1990s. Cicada, recognizing the critical importance of an effective support infrastructure, decided to invest heavily in improving worldwide support for the type. Instead of being solely reliant upon third parties and partnership arrangements with other companies, the firm developed their own facilities. Cicada opened its own service center in Florida, as well as establishing a network of distributors capable of both sales and services for the TBM 700. Consequently, during the late 1990s, sales of the type within the North American market rose dramatically. Early on, the TBM 700 was available in several different configurations and models. The introduction of the TBM 700 C2, which increased the maximum takeoff weight from 6,578 to 7,394 pounds, 2,984 to 3,354 kilograms, enabled operators to fly with both fully laden fuel tanks and maximum cabin occupancy, instead of compromising between the two, due to weight restrictions. The modifications made upon this model included the addition of a baggage compartment aft of the rear pressure bulkhead, the strengthening of the wing and landing gear, and seat crashworthiness certification for up to 20 G to accommodate for an elevated stall speed at higher weights. Around the same time, Cicada decided to redesign the interior of the aircraft, both in terms of the fittings and finish, along with the adoption of a new integrated environmental control system to improve passenger comfort levels. TBM 930 introduced in April 2016, with upgraded interior and avionics, including the Garmin G3000 touchscreen avionics suite. The TBM 930 is offered alongside the 900 and has not replaced it in the lineup. The Beechcraft Super King Air family is part of a line of twin turboprop aircraft produced by Beechcraft. The Model 200 and Model 300 series were originally marketed as the Super King Air family. The Super designation was dropped in 1996. They formed the King Air line together with the King Air Model 90 and 100 series. Beechcraft currently offers the 250 design, B200 GT, and the larger 350i, B300 models. The 350ER, B300 CER is available to government, military and commercial customers for special mission operations such as aerial survey, air ambulance, flight inspection and surveillance. The Beechcraft 1900 regional airliner was derived from the Model B200 King Air. The Super King Air family has been in continuous production since 1974, the longest production run of any civilian turboprop aircraft in its class. It outlasted all of its previous competitors. The only other pressurized multi-engine turboprop utility aircraft now in production is the Piaggio P180 Avanti. In October 2008, Beechcraft announced updated versions of the B300 series, the King Air 350i, with improvements to the passenger cabin. The manufacturer claims that the noise level and overall comfort of the King Air 350i, 350er, 350ic and 350 S.I.R are now competitive with those of light jets. The cabin of the B300 series has been updated with controllers in the passenger seat armrests that dim the LED lights, darken the windows and control an iPod dock, and a high-definition video monitor. The cabin also includes universal serial bus, USB ports, AC electrical receptacles and fold-out tables for each passenger and the 8 seats fitted. Deliveries commenced in December 2009. The cabin sound level is reduced by 4 decibels to 78 decibel due to better insulation. More than 440 350i have been delivered in less than 10 years. On a 1-hour trip, it is 10 to 15 min slower than a jet, while burning 700-900 pounds, 320-410 kilograms, less fuel. It cruises at 292 kn, 541 kilometers per hour, TOS at FL 350, while burning 503 pounds, 228 kilograms per h, and can reach 312 kn, 578 kilometers per hour, TOS at FL 240. The $1.8 million Blackhawk PT-6A-67A upgrade offers a 68 kn, 126 km per hour, TOS faster cruise, and up to 60% shorter time to climb. Direct operating costs are around $1,300 $1,500 per hour, including a 900 pounds, 410 kilograms average fuel flow per h. At 3,600 h, the first pair of engine overhauls cost $500,000 $550,000, but second overhauls can cost $800,000 $1.2 million. By September 2019, second-hand aircraft were priced between $3 million for early models to more than $4 million for late models.